Hey, how's it going, everybody? I've had a couple of video requests that people were asking that they wanted to see an update onto how the Epson EcoTank 2720 has performed since we set it up. So we're gonna do a brief update of that, and to do that, what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna show how we made this Christmas ornament. So let's just get right to it. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is you're going to go ahead and grab your ornament, which I have right here in this box of ornaments. Here it is right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place this on the scanner. And we're going to use a black background so that we can just make sure that the lines are really well defined. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the scanner, and I'm going to scan it to my computer, and then I'm going to pick up the video from there. Alright, now that we have our image loaded from the scanner into the computer, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and bring it straight into Silhouette. So to do that, you can just go ahead and click and drag it straight into the program, minimize that, and here it is. So the easiest way to do this is to trace it by color. So go ahead and click that and trace by color. So you can do that. And then I usually try to play with some of the settings to adjust the tolerance to get it exactly to where you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust that till it's right there, and I'll go ahead and trace it. Now that it's traced, I can go ahead and get rid of our original image and bring it on in like that. And this is actually traced to actual scale, so this is the exact size to which this was made, which is one benefit of doing it like this. So now the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab the image that I want, and I'm not just going to put it inside of there and have it automatically resize, because when you do sublimation and you do the press, you're going to want it to be a little bit larger than your image so that you don't miss any areas on your press. You want it to be just a bit bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this in over here, and I'm going to lock it so that it doesn't affect the aspect ratio, and then I'm going to go ahead and resize it. I'm going to rotate it so that it's the right side up, which would be 90 degrees clockwise. And now I can see that it needs to be resized just a bit more. So I'm going to make that 8 tall, and that looks good about there. So I'll go ahead and rotate and put my hole to the top there. That's how it'll be hanging, and that ought to be fine. So now the easiest way to line this up so that you can see what you need to do is to go ahead and fill this with a color, and then bring the transparency up so that you can actually put it in the front, but you can still see through it. So I'm going to bring it to the front, and then I feel like my picture is a little bit too big there. I want it smaller than that. So I'm going to change my width down to 7. That's still too big. I'll try 6. That's about right there. So I'll go ahead and zoom in on that area. I just want to make sure that I don't leave anything out. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, like I was saying, you don't want to just drop it straight in there. You want it to be a little bit bigger. So I'm actually going to draw another rectangle around it so that whenever I crop it, it'll crop it to where I can actually press that particular image. So that looks good about there. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out, and that shouldn't be there. I'm going to go ahead and crop this to the correct size using the transform palette, which is that one. Or actually, that's to modify. Okay, crop. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and bring this there. Now I can send it to the back. And that looks pretty good, just like that. So I'm going to do this to the other one. I'm going to do it to the other one, the other download that I had. Actually, what I can do now is I can just duplicate this, and then I can just drag my other one straight in there, because that's the actual size that we need right there. So let me just drag this straight in. Oh no, I can't do that because it didn't show the entire person. So I'll have to drag it in again. And I'll resize this, rotate it. Okay. And then I'll do the same thing with the transparency on this one. So here's that. Bring the transparency up. It's filled with any color, even if it's an image. So bring it to the front. And I think I'll do it just like that. Alright, and then I'll go ahead and crop that. Alright. So I'll go ahead and print these. Well, first I'm going to line these up. Let's see. Vertical. I don't want to do that. Okay, they're aligned at the top. So now I'm going to go ahead and print them. And then I will meet you at the heat press. Alright, so we got our two prints that we did on the computer printed out, and that's what we're going to do. So here are the prints, and so what we're going to do is we are going to take the ornament that we have, and the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to peel the protective plastic sheet off of the back. So I'll show you doing that. Don't forget to take these off, or you'll be sublimating on plastic that will peel off. So I'll go ahead and do that for this first side, and then while we're waiting for the heat press to heat up, it's been heating up, so we'll go ahead and press this side. We're going to put it in between the butcher paper, and then we're going to press our first image right here. And then we're going to let it cool down just a bit, and then we're going to press the other side. So now it's almost a temp, and you're going to want to do this for 400 degrees, at 400 degrees for 45 seconds. Everywhere that I've seen, that's the temperature that you're supposed to use. Unfortunately for me in this easy press, it says it warms up to 400, but it only actually gets up to about 338. So I don't really know what to do in this situation, but I've done one before in 338. It worked out perfectly. So I'll show here on the camera the easy press is almost a temperature, so we'll let it get the temperature, and then I'll show you what the press said, and then what the okay. So now it's at 400. You just heard the beep. So it's at 400, and then my heat gun is showing it at 348. And I've tried leaving it on for about 15 to 20 minutes to see if it would heat up more, and it doesn't. So that's what we got. We're gonna do it at 350 for 45 seconds. So let's go ahead. Do you want to do this press here? Okay. So this was the side where that's already, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the side where the vinyl's been, or the plastic's been peeled off. So we'll sublimate on that, and we have some heat tape. We don't need the heat tape, do we?
I want to go ahead and use it because as you know, I'm not a fan of this iron pressing thing. It's not my first choice.
So we put a couple of pieces of heat tape on that, And now we're going to go ahead and wrap it up like a sandwich. And then press it with the picture face up. And then 45 seconds. On this one, you just set it on top of there and then hit the timer button. Well, you don't need that much pressure. Very, well, just like a light to medium pressure. Okay, so I go ahead and reveal.
It is going to be hot, so be careful.
Check that out. That looks better than the picture. So now we're going to go ahead and do the other side.
Oh, I like how the clouds are in the corner.
You get the vinyl off?
That too.
I'll throw the garbage away.
Thank you. There's one more piece of garbage. Just for my own sanity.
Yeah, so I printed these earlier because if you print them and then you try to press them too quickly, sometimes the ink doesn't dry and it'll smear. So the best practice is to let it go for about 30, to let it dry for about 30 minutes, and then you shouldn't have any problems. All right, so here's our second press with the easy press.
Oh, I don't know what buttons to push, boo.
So the timer just went off, and let's go ahead and reveal it and see how it came out. Oh, look at that. Hold it up to the lens here.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, it's hot. It's so hot. Careful, careful.
I'm trying not to cook myself.
When we watch videos, we're like, duh, it's hot. You just put it 400 degrees on it.
Okay. So
Very good. All right.
And there is that one.
Awesome.
Greens and blues are perfect. As you can see, our color settings from our initial setup of our eco tank, we're still going strong. Great colors.